Hello, beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and I'm going to be doing readings for you. Now, before I begin, I just want to let you know that I do have memberships that I offer, and I just received the Pulp Tarot, and I will be using it soon in the readings. But on Friday, in the memberships tab, if you're a member, I'm going to be doing a flip through and a deck interview with the Pulp Tarot. I've been waiting for this for a while. It's got that 1940s movie poster theme. It's very close to like the zombie tarot. I don't know if they're from the same. They might be from the same. Let me see here. Is it Todd Alcott, the zombie tarot? Let me see. Let me see. Does it even say it? Stacey Graham. But it's got that same kind of vibe, except a little less zombie. So, I really like the old-fashioned themes. You have the King of Cups with that pinstripe suit, the headwear, you know, of the 20s, the skirts of the 50s. I just love the representation, and I'm looking forward to doing the walkthrough. So if that interests you, and the memberships are as low as $3 a month, and you can cancel at any time, and you get an extra video every week. And thank you to everybody who's already a member on Patreon and here, because you get the same, whether it's just you decide which platform you want to be on. I'm going to be looking at this deck in depth, and I can't wait. Yeah, I was really happy to get it. So I figure I would put that in there right here. And now we're going to get to the readings, my beautiful ones. Today we're talking about spirit advice. And you have the Emperor card, and you have this card, which is the Lovers. And we're going to look at it later on in the second reading. But if you look at these just closely, you can see that these two figures are looking at the Emperor, and the Emperor is looking at these two figures. And it struck me as really important in the way that it comes out. It's almost like they're saying, when you commit to your well-being, to your happiness, you bring on stability. And stability comes from having well-being. It's like they're looking at him and he's looking at them. And it's almost like they're dependent on each other to bring that sense of wellness. So we're going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull from the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. Bone Collector. I like the Bone Collector in this deck, because the Bone Collector is somebody who's just collected a lot of things in life. We looked at this yesterday as for the work, so it makes total sense. It's the fact that you've been, I don't know, it's like the Magician, I feel, in a way, because it's you are whole and have everything you need within. It's like everything that you've collected over time has helped you reach where you needed to. Okay? Let me see. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding of the things that happened to you, and here for you as you reclaim it now. And I would say that the thing that she's kept safe, this Bone Collector, is the lessons that you've learned and the magic that has been, that you've been given through your experiences, right? You have everything you believe you lack. And the Bone Collector is your inner resource. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. Define, not defined. Define you. It says you're fully present, but reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectation. So it's almost like we're not reacting the same way. We're not falling what we're trying to do right now is break away from the patterns of what we used to fall into. Like, somebody hurts me, I lash out. That's a preset, right? If I perceive danger or wounding from that person, it comes through and then you just react to it right away. They're saying now's the time that you've learned that lesson. You've learned how reacting, that things happen and then you react to them. But now you're looking at it from a standpoint of, has it served me? Can I change it? Can I think innovatively so that I can foster well-being instead of strife, instead of always constantly falling into the same trap over and over again? So we're going to look at this today. I'm going to pull all the cards. That Justice card's been wanting to come out. Every time I pre-shuffle, it comes out. Look at these two queens. I'm going to leave them upright. And I'm going to leave them here. I feel, again, these two are looking at each other. See this? Well, in the general vicinity, they're like sitting in front of each other, right? I'm going to get into that. It's interesting. Great way of seeing things. Ooh. The Hermit. The Queen of Pentacles. That's 3 queens now. A lot of feminine energy coming in here, Pisces. There's a lot less reacting and a lot more of just understanding coming in. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Big hit when these two queens came out. Big, big, big hit. As you guys know, for me, when the Justice card comes out, it's the way things have always been done. What seems fair, right? What was called out as fair in the past, okay? 2 cookies in one scale and 2 cookies in the other scale is equal, right? But what if you're somebody who, you know, I don't know, has less of a sweet tooth? Doesn't like cookies as much, but the other person wants more cookies because they have more of a sweet tooth. Is it really fair? And that's the thing, we have been headlong into always these type of things, okay? We've been taught a certain way, that things happen a certain way, that when somebody does something that makes us angry, they're in the wrong, and that's bad. But now we're being asked to go intuitively, to see if that person had reasons why they were angry, the reasons why they did what they did. And think that maybe if we were in that set way, if we were the one doing the angering, okay, would we want somebody to understand and see that all of our past, our present situation, all works towards, and now it doesn't excuse bad behavior. I'm just saying it brings an understanding that this person comes from all of that to bring you this point in time. And this point in time made you stop and pause and get hurt, or just stop from the flow that you were going. You were just happily flowing along, and then somebody comes in and angers you, and you think to yourself, well, they're wrong. And they're bad, and I didn't deserve it, and that's all true. But now what we're asking you to do, or what Spirit at least feels, I feel they're asking you to do, is to flip it around and see how innovatively you can look at a situation. And it doesn't mean that the person wasn't mean to do so, okay? I won't put at fault, but I said just, that it didn't smart you, that it didn't hurt you, that it didn't... They're not invalidating that at all. They're asking you to see more in the situation. Did this situation make you, A, realize, have I done this to other people, and should I change the way I do things? 2, do I want to stay away from people such as these? Yes or no? 3, do I want to understand and see where this comes from and maybe help them work out and have a better day if you care about these people? Because with friends, we'll do that. We'll forgive them and try to help them more than we would a stranger, right? So it's asking you to go in further. Figure it out. When it's not flowing and something is blocking your way, it's time to look at the rock, pick it up, look around it, see what's happening. Why did it end up there? Okay? And that's what they're asking you to do. Instead of always running to, that's not fair, that's not right, this is wrong, this is right, to look at things differently. The Queen here is telling you that they know what's wrong and right? But they're asking you to tap into your intuitive Queen. They're asking you to look at each other to find the balance, to find the understanding, the stability, and the well-being. Same thing. So internalize, inner light. The Queen of Pentacles, she's very resourceful. And she's very compassionate. She's a very compassionate queen. She's very grounded and generous with her time and nurturing. There's a lot of nurturing here. So I feel that the nurturing vibe really comes in. Maybe even for some of these situations, take a time and step away from it instead of engaging wholeheartedly. I feel that if the population sometimes would take, and I'm talking about, of course, social media, if people would take a good 24 hours, even 12, to think things through, there'd be a lot less lashing out at each other and misunderstandings, because we could get more out of it, right? So with this resourcefulness and nurturing and taking the time to understand further what's going on. And by the way, when I'm talking about person lashing out in anger, this is just an example. So to make it easier for you to understand what I'm trying to read out there, that you can apply it to anything in your life. It could be people you love. It could be a job with a coworker. It could be just somebody cutting you off in a car. Okay? You could just flip them the bird and say, you're an a-hole for cutting me off. But there may be a lot more going on. They may be rushing to a hospital. They may have had the worst day of their lives. You don't know. Or they could just be an a-hole. Okay? All of that has wisdom to bring you. Even when they're just simply being themselves. Okay? You can look at a situation of thinking, am I thinking he's just thinking of himself by cutting everybody off? And he's not seeing how that's affecting his environment. How can I be a better person? How can I see how my environment is reacting to the way I act? There's always something that you can bring into the positive with you, okay? So it's juggling, it's adapting the way you're thinking of things to bring in more. I think it's bringing in more. It's not taking away from the experience. It's not that sometimes somebody will cut you off and you're going to have that initial, well, F you for cutting me off, I mean, I get it. Oh my God, if somebody does something so, I love people who pass you just so that they can race to a stop that's coming up ahead that they know is there. It's like, what was the point to all that? Okay? So that you get faster to the stop sign, And I'm sitting there in my car talking to the person in the car in front of me saying exactly that. What was the point of that? Okay? So you can still react, but then you can think. This person's only thinking of themselves. If that's truly the only thing running in their brain is I'm first and I need to get there and I. How can I be more I? Yes, but I have to realize that I'm sharing this space with others. And being courteous and kind always has a space. So maybe when I go to that coffee, to get coffee, I'll pay for the person's coffee behind me because that guy cut me off. Just so that I can break the chain of being egoist, as they say in French, selfish, and show that you can be selfless. Okay, so there's always like these little things that you can take from you, make you feel better, and make your day flow in a direction. It's a new way of being. It's a new way of thinking. But it's a terrific way of doing things, okay? You have to realize that in order to create the stability and the foundations, the new foundations that you want behind you, these beautiful mountains, okay? You want these mountains to be there, but you want them to be lush with vegetation, or they're just a huge rock in the way of everything. You want to promote well-being. You want it to be lush with vegetation. Well-being is lush with vegetation. It's the one that brings fruit right here. Okay? So it's all about just juggling. It's about being innovative with the experiences that you are part of every single day of your life. And I'm not saying that you need to be a saint. Like I said, you can flip off the guy if you want, talk to him in the car like I do. I don't flip off anymore. I just don't. I used to when I was younger. Yes, Jane was a badass. But now it's just like, what did it really get you? And I get frustrated. And then I think, what else can I do with this? So this is what they're saying. What else can you do with this? It's not necessarily mean that you can't call people out on their bad behavior. But you could actually, while you're calling them out, you can turn around and I would say, if I could talk to that person, you cut me off for no reason because you wanted to get and you were being selfish. I'm going to take that and then tell them to their face. I'm going to take that, go to the drive-thru that I was going to and pay somebody's coffee just so that I can be selfless. To show the rest of the world that we don't all have to be this way. I think you would get a lot more out of that than anything else. And that person may be puzzled and completely confused by your actions, but they wouldn't forget it. They wouldn't forget that you said that, right? So I'm saying, let's be perspective people. Let's put in more than just it's equal in both sides. Let's see how it actually balances out better. There you go. That's it. That's Spirit's message. I'm going to come back and do the well-being, the Lover's card, how we can bring in more abundance and all of that great stuff. I'm going to send you love, light, and blessings. Take good care of yourself, Pisces. Bye for now.